What if the bond of trust between Simba and Kovu had never formed? What if, in a split second, one decision unraveled the destiny of the Pride Lands forever? The Pride Lands were silent, bathed in the dim orange light of the setting sun. Somewhere near the gorge, the unmistakable silhouette of a lion moved with purpose. Kovu, Scar's chosen heir, walked the dusty path leading to Pride Rock, his green eyes burning with hesitation and ambition. Tonight was supposed to be a night of unity, a step toward peace. But what if fate had other plans? Simba stood at the peak of Pride Rock, gazing over the kingdom he had worked tirelessly to rebuild. Kovu was just behind him, his head bowed in respect, but his mind was racing. Zira's words still echoed in his ears.
He took everything from us, Kovu. Scar's legacy will not die. You know what you must do.
Simba, unaware of the storm brewing behind him, spoke softly.
The Pride Lands were once torn apart by hatred. My hope is that you'll be part of healing it, Kovu.
But Kovu's heart was at war. He had grown close to Kiara, Simba's daughter, and had started to see the Pride Lands as more than just a target for revenge. Yet Zira's voice, her promises, and her anger clung to him like a shadow. As Simba turned to walk down the peak, Kovu froze. A single thought pierced through his hesitation.
If I kill him now, the Pride Lands will be ours again. Scar's legacy will be honored.
The moon hung low in the sky, casting a silver glow over the Pride Lands. The soft rustling of leaves and the distant calls of nocturnal creatures created an eerie, quiet backdrop. Simba and Kovu walked side by side down the rocky trail leading from Pride Rock. Simba's steps were steady, confident, but Kovu's were hesitant, almost dragging, as if each step weighed more than the last. Simba broke the silence, his voice calm, yet heavy with the wisdom of experience.
Kovu, life doesn't always give us easy choices. I know what it means to carry a legacy you didn't choose. I've lived it.
Kovu's heart pounded in his chest. Simba's words felt like a challenge, like the king could see through him, piercing his every hidden doubt and fear. He glanced up at the towering figure of Simba, a lion who carried the weight of an entire kingdom on his shoulders. A part of him admired Simba's strength, but another part, one that Zira had fed and nurtured, burned with resentment. Simba stopped suddenly, turning to face Kovu. The king's golden mane shimmered under the moonlight, and his amber eyes locked onto Kovu's green ones.
Kovu, you can choose a different path.
Simba said, his voice softer now.
You're not defined by Scar or by Zira. You're more than that. I see it in you, Kovu.
For a fleeting moment, Kovu felt the walls around his heart crack. He wanted to believe Simba, to embrace this new life of peace and unity, but then, like a shadow creeping into the light, Zira's voice echoed in his mind.
He took everything from us, Kovu. Everything. Don't let his kindness fool you. It's weakness.
His claws flexed instinctively, digging into the dirt. His breathing quickened. Simba turned his back, continuing down the trail, unaware of the storm brewing behind him. The moment was electric. The cool night air seemed to freeze and time slowed. Kovu's mind raced with conflicting thoughts. He could walk away, leave behind the vengeance that had defined him for so long, or he could fulfill Zira's wishes and end it all right here, right now. Without warning, Kovu lunged. His claws struck deep into Simba's side, the sound of tearing flesh, followed by the king's agonized roar. Huh? Simba stumbled, his mighty frame faltering as pain racked his body. His roar echoed across the Pride Lands, startling the creatures of the night. The world seemed to hold its breath. For a moment, there was only the sound of Simba's labored breathing and the rustle of disturbed leaves. Simba turned, his amber eyes wide with shock and betrayal as he looked at Kovu.
Why?
He whispered, his voice breaking. His legs gave way, and he collapsed onto the rocky ground, his golden fur now stained with crimson. The roar had awakened the pride. From the den atop Pride Rock, Kiara bolted upright, her heart pounding. "Father," she cried, leaping down the rocks with the agility of a lioness driven by fear. Nala was close behind, her sharp eyes scanning the scene below. When she saw Simba lying on the ground, her roar of anguish pierced the night. The lionesses followed, their snarls and growls blending into a symphony of fury and grief. Kiara reached her father first, skidding to a stop beside his fallen form. "Dad, no," she cried, nuzzling his face desperately. His eyes fluttered open, weak but alive.
Kovu.
Simba rasped, his voice barely audible. Kiara's head snapped up, her tear-grimmed eyes locking onto Kovu. He stood, frozen, his claws still stained with Simba's blood. His body trembled, but his face was unreadable, a mixture of shock, regret, and something darker. "Kovu, what have you done?" Kiara screamed, her voice breaking with rage and heartbreak. Before Kovu could respond, a chilling laugh echoed through the gorge. Zira emerged from the shadows, her piercing yellow eyes glowing with triumph.
Well done, my son. You've done what Scar couldn't. You've brought the Pride lands to their knees.
Kovu's ears flattened.
I didn't.
He stammered, but Zira cut him off.
Don't let them manipulate you. Kovu, this is what we've been fighting for. Scar's legacy lives on through you.
Kira stepped in front of her father, her body tense and ready to pounce. "You won't get away with this," she growled, her voice steady despite the tears streaming down her face. Zira laughed again.
Oh, little princess, it's already done. Your precious king is finished, and the Pride lands will be ours once more.
As Zira's outlanders began to close in, Kovu took a step back, his mind a whirlwind of emotions. He looked at Simba, struggling to breathe. He looked at Kiara, her eyes filled with betrayal. And then he looked at Zira, the lioness who had raised him, now reveling in the chaos. Something snapped inside him. The weight of his actions crushed him, and he realized the path he had chosen was not his own. It was Zira's.
No.
Kovu said, his voice barely a whisper. Then louder,
No.
Zira's smug expression faltered.
What did you say?
This isn't what I want. This isn't who I am.
Before Zira could react, Kovu turned to the lionesses of the Pride.
I was wrong.
He said, his voice trembling but sincere.
I let hatred blind me. I let her blind me. But I won't let her destroy everything.
The lionesses hesitated, their growls softening. Kiara stared at Kovu, searching his eyes for truth. Then prove it, she said. Kovu nodded. With a roar that shook the gorge, he turned on Zira. The Pride and Outlanders clashed in a chaotic battle under the moonlight. Kovu fought fiercely, no longer as Zira's pawn, but as a lion seeking redemption. Zira, furious and betrayed, lunged at Kovu. "You're just as weak as your father," she snarled. "I'm not Scar," Kovu growled, deflecting her attack. "And I'm not you." The fight ended when Zira, in her blind rage, slipped and fell into the rushing river below. Her screams faded into the distance, leaving an eerie silence. The Pride gathered around Simba, who was gravely injured but alive. Kovu approached cautiously, bowing his head in shame. "I don't deserve forgiveness," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Simba, weak but resolute, looked at Kovu. "Redemption isn't given, Kovu, it's earned. If you truly want to change, help us heal." Kovu vowed to dedicate his life to the Pride lands, not as Scar's heir, but as a lion who had chosen his own path. Under a golden sunrise, Kiara and Kovu stood together at Pride Rock. their silhouettes a symbol of unity and hope. The Pride Lands had endured yet another storm, but this time they emerged stronger, with a promise of peace that would honor Simba's legacy. As the sun sets over the Pride Lands, we leave this intense what-if scenario behind. But the question remains, what would you do if Kovu actually killed Simba? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this twist on the Lion King story and want to see more intriguing what-if scenarios, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be the first to catch our next thrilling what-if tale. No. And trust me, you won't want to miss what we have in store. Until next time, keep imagining the impossible and stay tuned for more epic adventures.